Why single men who own Bitcoin are happier than you think. Okay, welcome to my channel, guys. My name is Tariq, and I'm going to be bridging the gaps between real life topics that matter and the power of Bitcoin. So I saw kind of an interesting trend going on around on YouTube about how a lot of guys were stating the reasons why they're staying single, avoiding marriage, and things like that. And I wanted to kind of contribute to this topic, but I wanted to kind of contribute in a different way to give you guys some reasons why single men, but in particular, single men that own Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the original cryptocurrency that was founded by Satoshi Nakamoto back in 2009, is kind of given a rise to a new, you know, potential for modern men when it comes to dating relationships and in particular marriage. So, from this point of view, I feel like I can contribute to this topic. I have been in long-term relationships before. I do have children. I have three children, and I have been a Bitcoiner since 2019. And I really think people have kind of lost touch with the whole reason for marriage in it, when it was kind of created, right, under religious reasons and things like that in the church, and the new options available with the power of cryptocurrency that's only been around for around 16 years or so. So obviously, a lot of guys are single now for various reasons. It could be financial reasons. It could be due to low confidence. It could be due to failed relationships in the past. It could be due to fear of divorce. There's a multitude of reasons why guys are staying single, and I think with this new economy that we're in, right? We're really in the gig economy. Okay. Most jobs pay either a minimum wage or they just don't pay enough money for the average single guy to be able to take care of a wife and the kids on one income. My grandfather worked in a dirty factory for 40 years. He had a sixth grade education, and he took care of himself, his wife of 57 years, and five children. Okay, so unless you're really earning, I would say upwards of, at least in the United States, if you're earning upwards of $200,000, that's probably the only way that you can really achieve this. Now, I'm from Washington, D.C., obviously, so we're talking about if you're going to be living in a major city. Obviously, if you live in a smaller town, it's more affordable. But the problem with that is that living in a smaller town, the jobs pay less. So most men are, struggling to obviously make north of $200,000, and it just seems like for most people, wife and the kids and all this thing is out of reach. But there is a way that you guys can achieve this. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video is I didn't want to just kind of talk about the issues because the issues are obvious. We're going to provide solutions to those issues. What if I told you guys that obviously you can stay single and you can hold an asset like Bitcoin and your net worth will steadily climb over time without any external input from things like having to get another degree, go back to school, work a second job, because you're saving. Okay, you're saving your energy, you're saving your past work capacity, you're saving your time in digital gold, digital energy that cannot be created or destroyed, and there's only 21 million of them. So a lot of young men, middle-aged, young, whatever, even for you guys out there that are baby boomers, a lot of men are going to have a lot of opportunities in the future. If you're single now and you hold or own Bitcoin, okay, this is the key solution to this issue. If you can't earn a high salary or you're feeling like the cost of living is crushing you, inflation is too much. If you hold, own, and save Bitcoin, you will be shocked at how your opportunities in life will change over the next, I would say, 5 to 10 years. Now, obviously, Bitcoin is very volatile in the short run, but in the long run, it's really only gone up. Okay, over the last 10 years, Bitcoin is up 33,000%. So, obviously, a lot of those future, gains that people earned in the past when, Bitcoin was very young and didn't know, a lot of people didn't know about it, probably aren't going to come. But Bitcoin is still only 16 years old. Okay, I would compare Bitcoin to like a 16-year-old LeBron James. He was still pretty good, and there are videos floating around on YouTube saying at 16 years old, LeBron was, outperforming some NBA players in pickup games. But where LeBron was at 16 and where he was at 21 and 25 and now at 40, it's just light years in comparison. And that's why I think it's not too late for single men to own Bitcoin. So obviously, owning Bitcoin is going to help. So now, why are a lot of single men that own Bitcoin happier than you think? Well, just like I said, you're going to have a lot more money and a lot more purchasing power in the future. And obviously, money can't make you happy, but money is a very important tool in this current economy to get what you want. It pays for everything you need: food, gas, clothing, right? Rent. If you wanted to support a family, you need money. Okay. So a lot of guys don't understand that if you continue doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. If you continue saving in fiat currencies, unless you have a transformation in your life, unless you have a windfall or get an inheritance or level up in your career, it's not going to be possible for you to afford a family doing the same thing, earning and saving fiat currencies that the government is inflating away in real time. And this is by design. The rich elite, they really don't want a lot of people to have good strong families anymore. This is exactly why they're inflating the currency. Now they can deal with it. The rich and the billionaires and things like that, it's okay for them. The guys like Elon Musk and such, it's fine. But for the average guy, you're not going to win playing that game. And that's where Bitcoin comes in. It gives you a game to play because using the government fiat game, there's more single people than ever, and a lot of people have given up on having a family. So I'm going to give you guys some more solutions that you can use to thwart this attack on the nuclear family and attack on single men. It's making it very difficult for the average guy out here to basically be able to take care of a family. So the first step is obviously you need to buy Bitcoin. You need to own Bitcoin, learn about Bitcoin. Okay, I've published hundreds of videos on this channel about Bitcoin. I plan to publish more in the future. There's some other great YouTubers out there as well that you can follow, learn more about Bitcoin. The second step is you're going to have to decide if you're going to stay single, then you have some options, including surrogacy. So surrogacy is basically where you pay a woman you agree on a contract and you pay her to carry um, your child, and then after the child is born, you receive 100% custody of the child. Now, obviously, once again, surrogacy can be expensive depending on where you live. It can cost anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 in the United States. But like I said, since all assets pretty much go to zero against Bitcoin, if you hold Bitcoin, your purchasing power is going to skyrocket. Okay, there have been predictions of Bitcoin hitting $1 million at least by 2030. So even if you just have zero point 0.1 Bitcoin and Bitcoin hits $1 million, you have $100,000 to play with. So this is enough money if you wanted to invest in something like surrogacy and you still wanted to become a father. Okay, that's an option that a lot of men haven't really been talking about on YouTube. I'm just shocked that so many guys think you either need to get married and risk divorce and financial ruin and separation of your kids, or you just stay single for life. No, guys, there's more options out there. Okay, life is abundant. There's plenty of options out there that we can talk about on this channel. It doesn't have to be married with wife and kids, or just you stay single like a hermit. So surrogacy is definitely something you guys really need to think about. It's something I'm going to be talking about a lot more on this channel in the future, because even me, I plan to do it. Okay, I already have 3 children, but just there's been a lot of friction with the mothers of those kids. So I'm really looking into surrogacy. God blesses me with a 4th child. Okay, so the third thing is that you can always kind of relax your mind when you hold Bitcoin. That in the future, if you wanted to have a wife and kids, you can do this, because just because you're single now and you hold Bitcoin doesn't mean your financial status is going to remain the same in the future. And this is so important for you guys to conceptualize, because a lot of you guys watching this video are in your 20s or early 30s, and you're thinking, oh, I'll never be able to afford a family, I'll be single for life. But when you hold Bitcoin, that is not true. Okay. You will be shocked at how your net worth will compound over time. And then next thing you know, you might end up being in your mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, and things like that. And you're just sitting on a massive nest egg thanks to the power of Bitcoin. So now your options are way more abundant. Okay. You will be able to attract a lot of women with that fat nest egg that you wouldn't have been able to attract in the past. And of course, now this can change your mindset. Sitting on a comfortable nest egg, feeling financially well off and comfortable, you can take more risk. Okay, you can end up getting engaged and married, and even if it doesn't work out for you, you still have your nest egg to fall back on. So I think it's really important to, instead of worry about like trying to find a woman and trying to get married and rushing through life, it's more important to step back, realize the problems that are in society right now, and come up with a solution that you can control. And the one thing that you can control with your money and your time is learning about Bitcoin. I'm going to keep pounding this point home because it is the solution for kind of revitalizing American families and families across the world, especially, but especially American families. Because, like I said in a lot of my previous videos, the nuclear family was destroyed in 1971 when President Nixon took us off the gold standard. Before that, it was very affordable for most men, even working blue collar jobs, to have a family. And then when we got off the gold standard, everything, to put it bluntly, went to crap. So we need to reestablish that. We were on a gold standard. We had good, strong nuclear families. Men could work, even at minimum wage, afford to take care of a wife and kids. You could stay at home and watch your kids grow up. And then we got off the gold standard. It just made it so much more difficult. You really had to earn so much fake fiat money to achieve this. But if we can get back onto Bitcoin and get back on that gold standard, that standard of hard money that can't be debased and inflated to crap, well, then now we're back on track. And that's the big issue that's really going on in the world. People don't understand that we got off of that hard money standard, and this is causing the problems. So, of course, a lot of single guys are going to struggle with modern women. You're going to struggle with relationships because we got off track. But it's just like anything in life. You get off track, and you just get back on track. And you're right back where you were. So, like I said, do research. You will be surprised that a lot of single men right now who own Bitcoin are extremely happy, knowing that their purchasing power is going to expand in the future, knowing that they have tons of options available for them when it comes to choosing mates, finding a woman that they want to settle down with if they want to. And that's the funny thing. I mean, if you save your money in a hard asset, your dating pool just expands drastically, and you'll be able to attract and bring women into your life and date women that you thought you would have never been possible. But it's not really, I would say, you personally that's doing the attracting. It's really the confidence and the security that Bitcoin brings to your life that's able to give that energy off to the opposite sex, and they can really pick up on it. So, I'm not going to give you guys a bunch of pickup artist tips and all that stuff because, let's be honest, most single guys are dealing with the same issues around the world. Okay, with the rise of Web 2.0 and social media, it's made it difficult for the average guy to attract a decent, normal looking woman that they want to spend the rest of their life with and have a family with and keep that family strong. It's possible. It's definitely possible. It's just become more difficult. Now, the interesting caveat is that we're about to transition into Web 3.0. Okay, so that's Web 3.0. We're talking about the metaverse. We're talking about basically the standard use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for transactions. So it's really important that you think ahead and jump on Bitcoin now before we transition to Web 3.0. Because once we hit Web 3.0, people are going to be wearing goggles on their heads. Okay, we're not going to be looking down at smartphones anymore. We're going to be looking up with the metaverse and all these Facebook, goggles and things they have like that. And people are going to be able to connect, in the metaverse. So people are going to be dating and meeting partners in the metaverse. And Bitcoin will be like probably well into the millions of dollars by then. And we'll be doing a lot of transactions using cryptocurrencies instead of the analog fiat, ways of doing transactions. So it's really important that you just embrace this inevitable shift. It's the reason why Mark Zuckerberg changed the name of Facebook to Meta. He's forward thinking. And we just need to embrace that this is going to happen. And it's easily possible if you embrace Bitcoin now. Jump on the bandwagon, join us, join the network. Buy Bitcoin, hold it. You can buy it a crypto wallet. You can invest in the Bitcoin ETFs. Whatever you need to do to own Bitcoin and get a part of that network, you are going to have a peace of mind and just a financial fortress that you can use in the future to attract any woman you like. And the funny thing is, a lot of single guys are actually traveling overseas. Okay, it takes money to travel overseas. You need to pay for a passport. Okay, you need to buy plane tickets. You need to find a place to stay, whether you're staying in a hotel or you're renting an Airbnb or you're going to rent a house or something like that. So all of these things require money, and you just need to understand that Bitcoin in the short run is very volatile, but over the long run, it really increases your purchasing power and it makes it possible to do things that you couldn't normally do with the standard 9 to 5 salary or whatever. So hope I covered a lot of points in this video. Single men who own Bitcoin are a lot happier than you think and have a lot more options than you think. But right now with Bitcoin still under 100K, who knows how long Bitcoin will remain this cheap? It's really important to kind of take action and get on it now before the price goes to the moon. So I hope I provided some solutions in these videos, guys. Be sure to kind of rewind on some of the points I touched if you need more clarification. And let me know what you guys think in the comments of some topics you want me to talk about. Like I said, I wanted to basically, I noticed that there are a lot of videos on YouTube talking about certain issues that the men are facing in the general society. And then there are a lot of videos on Bitcoin. And I wanted to bridge the gap because I feel like there's the area that hasn't been touched yet. And I want to provide new, interesting value for you during this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this video with someone if you think they would find it helpful. So that's all I got until now. Next time, guys, take care.